Let's get to it, man. Another one.
My guy. How you living, bro?
You know, chilling like the villain hanging from the ceiling.
Saying this one a little late, you know what I mean, but we making it happen, you know what I'm saying? We had to not in Flix Media Studios today. We at your crib. I appreciate the hospitality, brother.
All day, we're gonna get it done regardless.
Appreciate inviting me in here for episode 2, man. We're gonna have a good one, man. What's up with y'all, man? It's Michael Flix. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
It's your boy D. We're back again with part 2.
You know, it's episode 2 of From the Sandbox podcast, man. It's a podcast about 2 childhood friends. One's a barber. It's my guy D, photographer, myself. Sure. You know what I'm saying? We just, talk about our friendship, our jobs, and anything else that's going on in society and in culture and all of that, man, just to catch y'all up on what this podcast is about. But what you been up to since the last one, man? I think we recorded the last podcast like a week and a half ago, maybe. What you been up to since that last one, man?
I've just been doing the same old regular stuff, being a dad, working. Got this trip to New York coming up in November.
Oh, yeah?
So I've been getting stuff ready for that. That should be fun. My first time on the East Coast. Mm-hmm. Just maintaining, nothing major, just maintaining.
I feel like I need to figure out what I'm gonna be doing in November. That's my birthday month.
Oh, yeah.
I need to figure out what I'm doing in November. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, since the last pod, it's been working, man. KUSI is back rocking. Mm-hmm. KUSI is back rocking, so I've been covering games on Friday nights.
There you go. It's been some good games out there, too.
It's been some good ones. I've covered a few blowouts, though. I think we just did week 5, and I think every game I've covered has been a blowout this year so far. It's been some good games. I just ain't been covering those ones. I've been at the blowouts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But now the Drew League is over. I'm back in Dago on the weekend, so I'm back at the radio station doing the show. Then my first 2 sponsored shows. That was dope. You know what I'm saying? We gonna make some of that sponsor magic and that ad magic happen on this podcast too. Once we really get rocking too, that's gonna be really exciting. But yeah, man, that's what I've been up to, brother. That's what I've been up to, man. We went out and kicked it. Had a good time out on the town. That was fun. You know what I mean? Gonna cool out for a little while. You know what I'm saying? But that was fun. Actually, we might go out Thursday.
We might do the YG show on Thursday. Then I might be it.
I might go out one more time. You know what I'm saying?
One more time.
Yeah, man. Let's I actually, you know what? What's the like I said, we're gonna talk about our jobs and everything. You're a barber that makes really good money as a barber.
Okay.
How did you? I mean, obviously you got to be good at your job, like to have as much clientele and be as busy as you are throughout the day. But what's something that, like, a piece of advice that, like, assuming every barber is talented as you are, right? What's one piece of advice you can give to any barber to really make the type of money that they want to make?
I'm gonna say, that's funny you said it. We were just talking about this the other day in my shop. I would say stay humble. Remember when you was here. Now that you're here, don't forget about when you was down here. You know what I'm saying? Don't get too good for walk-ins. Don't get too good for certain clients. Don't pick and choose your cuts because you feel like you're at this level. You know what I'm saying? Stay humble. Stay good to your clients. Your clients gonna be good to you. And if you put out good work, they're gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? If you're putting out good work, it's like being in any business. If the product is good, the client's gonna come back. Mm-hmm. But just don't get I see a lot of barbers get too cocky. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They feel like they're just like the top cream of the crop. You know what I'm saying? Like, stay humble, remember where you came from, and your clients gonna mess with you.
I feel it. You know what? I've heard a lot of stories about, like, cocky barbers and dudes that don't want to do this and do that. But thankfully, I've never experienced that. I've never had a barber. And granted, in my life, I've only had, 3 barbers really, but none of them, and at the time I was a kid, so I guess it don't count. But even like the barbers that I've had outside of you, obviously, I know you ain't go crazy on me, but the barbers that I've had, like, since I've been grown, they like, I haven't really experienced that. Maybe it's because how I move, and they like, I like Mike, I'm gonna mess with him, but I've heard that, so I know it's true. I've heard a lot of stories, but thankfully I ain't never had to put up with that really.
Thank God. Now see me, I'm not a cocky barber. I will call it more of I'm an inspirational barber. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll be cutting, I'll do a cut so good. I'm feeling so good about the cut, I might yell in the shop, yo, take your notebooks out, I'm taking you out of school. Just to hype up my other barbers. Mm-hmm. But as far as being cocky, no, I'm never too good for a walk-in. You know, I stay humble to my clients and stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like, for instance, I got a story. So we in the shop one day, right? I work in the military area. This dude comes in. You know, he's like, "Yo, who's good at tapers?" One of my boys is like, "Yo, I'm good." He asks my boy, "You got some pictures I can see?" This is his first time in the shop. Dude from New York. I mean not New York. He's from Chicago. My barber goes, "Let you see my work." He said, "Man, it's all good. I ain't gotta cut you." The dude looks at him like, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the dude like, "Yo, he got a right to ask that if he never."
Absolutely.
It's like going to a tattoo shop, you know, and you want to see the artist's work first, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I ended up saying, "Yo, I'm pretty good." I showed him my Instagram. He's like, "Yeah, I'm messing with you."
Mm-hmm.
You know, I cut this dude to this day. He's giving me $50 a cut. You know what I'm saying?
That's love.
But that's what I said about being cocky, not being humble.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now this dude is out some money because he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to show a dude his work. Crazy, huh?
That's crazy. That's crazy. I wonder how he feel every time that client come in and he, you know what I'm saying, he come in and jump. He might like outwardly probably be like, "Man, I ain't tripping," but inwardly probably like, "Man," but then he probably don't know how much dude is paying you either. So there's that part too. So we in your crib, man. Like I said, we not at Flix Media Studios today. We at your crib. You know what I'm saying? You got the bachelor pad over here. You've been living by yourself for a little while now. How is that, man? I was thinking about that because you said something the other day to somebody. He was like, "Yeah, man, I got my own little setup. I ain't tripping about nothing." I heard you say that or something, and I was just thinking, like, man, like when I moved out, it was with my girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was when I was married. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't never had to be by myself or like cook by myself or like or even when I moved out, you know what I'm saying, when I moved to LA when I was 20, I moved in with my aunt and my cousin, and then I was living with my granny. You know what I'm saying? There were some nights when I had to fend for myself, but those were few and far between because I was with family. You know what I'm saying? So what's it, because I know for me, bro, if I live by myself, it'd be big pots of spaghetti and big pots of chili like every other week, bro. What's the bachelor life like? Is it, because you're new to it, right?
This is my second time.
Oh, okay.
My second time, you know, bachelor life. I had my own spot, and I moved in with me and my daughter's mom. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm back to living alone again. But I mean, for the most part, it's cool. I can't complain. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, ladies, you do have some lonely nights where you come home to nobody and it's kind of lonely. You know what I'm saying, ladies? So tap in. But you got the nights too, to where it feels good to come home to nobody. To not check in with nobody. You don't got to worry about nothing. There's no arguments. There's no fights. There's no stress. You know what I'm saying? Now, there are some nights where I want a good home cooked meal, and I'm only selected to cooking something like you said, big pots of spaghetti, you know, tacos, chicken, rice, vegetables. Then we start getting into more things like hot dogs.
I was about to say, what's the there you go, the easy stuff. Throw it in the pot, let it chip. You know what I'm saying? What's the dish that you could whip up that like if you invited a girl over and cook for her, she'd be like, "Damn, I didn't think he could do that." Like, what's a dish that you got that people wouldn't?
The classic, and I've done this a few times. The classic: fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, rice, mixed vegetables. Okay, that's a full course meal. Anybody say no to that? He gets them all the time.
He said he gets them all the time. Oh, so that's your bag? Invite him over, cook for him, that's your bag?
Yeah, invite him over, cook, you know, drink a little wine. You know what I'm saying? Watch a little Netflix and chill. That's the usual.
I heard it. Because like I said, man, if it were me, man, I'd be hungry. I'd be hungry as hell. I'd be hungry as hell all the time.
I mean, I have a lot of nights from Subway. You know what I'm saying? Chinese food. Chick-fil-A, like you have a lot of those nights too, like, but you know, you gotta feed, you gotta make it.
Okay, now let me ask you this. It's like kind of a subject change. When you were in a relationship and living with your daughter's mom, how do I ask this question? I know what I want to talk about, but I don't know how I want to set up this question, right? So would it be like, did you find yourself, what was her vibe? Like, did you have to cheer her up a lot? Did y'all before things got rocky, obviously, did y'all get along pretty well? Did you have to constantly make her happy? Did you depend on her for your happiness? Like, what was I'm getting to something here, but just answer that question.
I would say we made each other happy, you know what I'm saying? Her personality, she likes laughing a lot. You know, she likes having fun. I'm a real goofy kind of person, so I always made her laugh a lot, you know what I'm saying? That was never the issue as far as that. We kind of depend on each other because we were 50-50 on everything. You know what I'm saying? That's just how she's real independent, so she would never let anybody just pay for everything. Even if I told her, you know, just stay home, take care of the kids, my job's good enough to pay the rent, she would never do that. That's just her personality. But for the most part, you know, it was like in a relationship, we had some good nights, you know, some good days and some bad mornings. You know, I mean, it is what it is. But it was happy time.
Okay, let me zero in on like what I'm trying to talk about. Then, did she depend on you for her happiness, and did you depend on her for your happiness, or were y'all already happy together and were y'all happy individually and y'all brought that together?
We was happy individually and we brought it together.
Okay.
We was both happy, you know. Like you said, things got rocky and then, yeah, you know.
Cause see, me and my wife, that was us too. We're both happy.
Yeah.
Came together. But then we got into a space where like she would be upset about something that maybe I did do or maybe I didn't do. Okay, let's talk about like something that she's upset about something that has nothing to do with me, right? And she would be in a bad mood, and it would put me in a bad mood that I couldn't cheer her up.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And we've been married 8 years now, and I want to say like maybe a year and a half, maybe not even that long ago, like maybe even more recent than that, I've just gotten to the point where like if I can't make her happy, I don't like stress about it. And I know that sounds crazy, but like I don't, like, cause I feel like it's selfish, if that makes sense. And I saw a Will Smith quote like 4 days ago that kind of like justified what I was talking about, and that was why I wanted to come and talk about it on the podcast. It says something about how like a couple should be like, if you're upset and you can't make yourself happy, it's selfish to expect your significant other to make you happy. And then so I took that as the flip side. It's like, if she can't make herself happy, it ain't really my job to make her happy if she can't do it for herself. You know what I'm saying?
That's deep right there.
And it even it feels bad to say out loud. It feels bad to say, honestly. But I got to that point where I was finally like, it's not gonna ruin my day if she's having a bad day. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna still be, I live my life like 95% of the time happy all the time. You know what I'm saying?
You can't let nobody else's bad day ruin your life. Like, there's a lot of times where I'll be having a cool day, you know what I'm saying? My baby mom will have a bad day at work. She'll come home bringing an attitude from work to the house. And now that attitude is bleeding out on us. You said something to her, she's snappy. Like, damn, what's wrong with you? Like, I'm just asking how your day was. Like, my bad, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was a lot of days like that, and then that would put me in a bad mood. And eventually, I just started saying, forget it. I'm not gonna be mad because you mad.
Right.
I'm gonna brush it off my shoulders, play my little 2K, play my Madden. You know what I'm saying? And do my thing. So there was sometimes we wouldn't talk because she felt like I didn't want to listen to her talk about what happened at work and this and that. Like, it's not that I don't want to listen to you, it's just that it brings me down hearing that you're down. Hearing that you went through this. It almost starts to get, dang, annoying is such a bad word. That's such a strong word.
The more appropriate word I would say is frustrating, but it's so frustrating because it's like, for me anyway, it was like, and don't get it twisted, my wife is happy. Like, she's happy. Like, she doesn't walk around like depressed or like upset all the time. She doesn't. She's happy. But there would be like multiple times, and there has been, and there will continue to be times when it's like, you just in a mood that I can't fix, and I'm not finna like beat myself up over the fact that I can't change your mood or I can't make you more happy than you are right now. You know what I mean? And that's who I've been for a lot of people in my life, like all my life. I've always been kind of like, there's been so many times, like even at school when I wasn't feeling it, I just kind of down or kind of quiet. People like, yo, like, what's up with you? You good? Like, nah, my nigga, I just don't feel like talking today. Like I said, it's been so many people like you. I usually like look at you, you smiling, you laughing, and make me smile and laugh. Like, where the joy at? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I finally got to a point where I was like, nah, man, I don't owe it to nobody to cheer them up, and I can't expect nobody to cheer me up or make me happy if I can't do it for myself. You know what I'm saying?
See, and that's true because like you can go through so much stuff with a person that sometimes, and this is coming from going through it and my family telling me like, you know, you changed, you know me, I'm always laughing, goofy, got a joke. That's always been my personality. Mm-hmm. Once my baby mom started getting deep and we started going through so much stuff, my personality changed. I got depressed. I was dealing with depression. I was dealing with anxiety. I wasn't happy. I wasn't laughing. I wasn't cracking jokes. You know what I'm saying? To my family, so I'm like, you starting to turn into her. Like you changing. Like you acting like her. And I was like, yo, I had to look at myself like, damn, I really am changing, dude. So it wasn't me no more. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Once I cut that off, mm-hmm. you know, started doing my own thing, I'm back now, man. Mm-hmm. And I feel better than ever. Mm-hmm. I love it.
So because I know for a while, like when you first, and we could talk about it, and if you don't want it on the podcast, I'll edit it out. But I remember when you first moved out, you was like, yo, like not having baby girl and not having my kids in here, like I ain't used to this, like
different.
Miss them niggas, man. So you in a good space now with that.
I'm doing a little better with that, but as far as like still like wanting to like be in that relationship, try to make with my baby mama, past that, but not having my daughter here every day, that still bother me. Mm-hmm. You know, I still deal with those issues, but I talk to her every day. You know what I'm saying? So she know I love her, she know I care about her. Mm-hmm. You know.
Mm-hmm. Now when you y'all got a partner, so we gonna stop from time to time. We got the game going on right now too. What was I about to say? So with your daughter and with your son, do you because I know I find myself I have to be careful. Like I think I'm a good person. Let me start with that. But I have to be careful, and I feel like most parents are, but I'm talking about me right now. I feel like I have to be careful not to give my son like the bad parts of me. And not to like put how I might think or feel onto him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like I'm saying that because like all my life, like I'm the middle child, right? I got an older brother, it's about 2 years older than me, and I got a younger brother that's just about 3 years younger than me, right? And you know, like growing up, our house was like where everybody kicked it at. My parents was like, nah, just have everybody come over here. You ain't gotta go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So I was never by myself. And then even when we moved up to Escondido, it's either Jesse or anybody, like any of our homies at the house all the time. You know what I'm saying? And so I was never by myself. And so I never got used to playing by myself or entertaining by myself or nothing. I never got used to that. Yeah. And so now I just expect for other people to only be able to be entertained when they with at least one other person, because that's how I was, right? And so the other day, like we live in our neighborhood, like when the kids are outside playing, when Barron hears them, he'd be like, Dad, can I go outside and play? I'm like, all right, yeah, go ahead. And he asked to go outside, and I listen, I don't hear nobody. And I go and look, and I'm like, but ain't none of the neighbors even outside. And he was like with genuine curiosity, was like, I can't go play by myself? And it just hit me like, you know what? Of course you can go and play by yourself. But me as a kid, I'd have just been like, ain't nobody playing outside, so there's really no point to go outside. You know what I'm saying? And that's something small, but that's just like one of the things that had me thinking like, I gotta make sure like how I think and feel, I don't like overly influence that on my two sons. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Your kids are older, so have you like experienced any of that or dealt with any of that?
I mean, I'm kind of the same way. Like, you know, when my stepson would say, yo, can I go outside? I would go outside, take a peek, you know, nobody out there. I'm like, who you gonna play with? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm gonna just go out there and just run. Just play catch by myself. I'm like, man, nah, just stay in the house. I used to tell them to stay in the house. Mm-hmm. My daughter, she's not allowed to go outside by herself, you know what I'm saying? She's not of age, she's only 8, so, you know, she's a girl, so I'm kind of real iffy on that. You know, my stepson, that's a little different. You wanna go outside and play, you know, go outside and do your thing, you know what I'm saying? But, as far as like, You say putting what you think out on them. I tend to do that. You know, I always tell them how I feel about certain stuff, how it was when we was growing up. So I feel like you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. But then again, times are different nowadays. So, you know, things are different, you know. But at the same time, like back in the day, you know what I'm saying, you could leave your door unlocked, you know what I'm saying, and sleep through the night. Wouldn't nobody mess with you. You do that nowadays, somebody running up in your house, you know what I'm saying? It's not safe times, you know what I'm saying? Kids are getting snatched like that.
Yeah,
you know
that's real.
Taking riding their bike on the sidewalk, boom, now they gone. So you gotta be careful with that.
I think, I don't know, man, like, I don't want to say I don't want to influence my kids. I do. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be the bigger influence on them than anything else. But I'm just saying, like, I don't want how I think and feel about everything to enforce that on them and, like, have them thinking exactly the same way I do about things. Because then, like, what's the point in that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Fuck, you're not letting them be them, huh?
Right. And that's one thing I got to give it up to my parents about. Like, they let us be us. Like, my dad was a minister. By the time I was in 7th grade, my dad was a pastor, you know what I'm saying? So they had real strong beliefs about a lot of stuff, well, about religious things anyway. But, you know what I'm saying? They made sure we went to church and that we believed in God. You know what I'm saying? You know. But outside of that, like, they didn't, and honestly, they didn't even make us, like, they didn't say, like, we had to be Christians. They went to church every Sunday and they were Christians, and that's what we was around. And so it was.
We had some fun church Sundays though. I remember them days, man.
For sure.
You playing the drums.
For sure.
On the drums. We do the service, go out to eat afterwards, man. We LA. We had some fun.
We had a lot of fun at church, bro. And you know it's funny how, like, how different this actually kind of goes hand in hand with what we was talking about. Is about, like, raising kids and stuff. It's funny how two kids can grow up, or any group of kids can grow up in the exact same environment with the same parents and the same stimulus and go to the same school and everything and be completely different, bro. Because I know, like, Steph would agree that we had fun times at church. He would absolutely agree to that. But I know for me, I started, like, playing the drums and, like, sitting up by the guy. Like, I decided to go sit by the guy that was playing the drums because it looked cool to me, and so I didn't have to sit by my mom every single Sunday. You know what I mean? And so I'm saying all that to say, like, I knew I had to be in church on Sundays, and so I found different things to make it entertaining for me. Whether it was, like, I thought the way this lady shout, I thought it was funny, or the way this dude chew his gum, that it's gonna make me laugh, or sitting next to the drums is gonna be funny. I found different things to, like, entertain me, to make it would be like, I gotta be there, so I'm gonna laugh and I'm gonna have some fun with this, and then you make friends and all that, you know what I'm saying? But I remember, like, thinking that and doing that, and Steph being, like, the exact opposite. Like, no, I'm gonna sit here and they're gonna see that I don't want to be in here right now. You know, it's so funny how, like, how kids can be. Like, my kids are opposites, bro. Like, Baron is, like, real, and he low key, the nigga's kind of mean. You gotta warm up to you, or he ain't really messing with you like that. Yeah. Max is 15 months. We walking up to complete strangers, giving them hugs in the park. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, man. It's crazy how kids can be so different. Ooh.
Leaped over him though.
That was kind of cool. We could switch gears a little bit though. You see, rest in peace. You see, Michael K. Williams passed away from The Wire. You know who Michael K. Williams is, right? Yeah, Michael K. Williams passed away.
What, COVID?
Nah, they said they found him dead in his home, so they're not exactly sure what happened. It's a few assumptions about what happened, but I ain't finna give no energy to that. But
I didn't even know that.
But I mean, it happened like about a week and a half ago. But I wanted to ask about, because I didn't know that him and 50 Cent, for whatever reason, had an issue.
How somebody his age just dying like that?
They saying they think he might have overdosed. Yeah. But I don't know how true that is. Like, I don't want to get no energy to that. So rest in peace to Michael K. Williams. But I didn't know that he and 50 Cent had any issues. And 50 Cent posted something about like your boy OD'd or something, like pretty much like poking fun at it, or like talking down on it. You know what I mean? And I was like, so it made me want to ask, like, you or anybody else, like, I would love to know about anybody that I'm close to. How how would you deal with like a enemy of yours or somebody that you never rocking with again? Like they passing away. How do you speak about them after they're not here anymore?
How do I speak about them? Well, I've been in that situation twice already.
Okay.
But no, if you raised correctly, you know what I'm saying, and you know what's right, you wouldn't wish death upon nobody. That's something like Biggie said. That's something you can't take back.
Well, I'm not saying you wish death, but they're gone now. So I'm not saying.
Yeah. I would never boast and praise and be like, yeah, that nigga gone, hell yeah, because you know that man had a family, he had a mom, he had a father. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like karma comes quick. When you boast about stuff like that, it's only been a matter of time before you get yours. I believe in the energy you put out in the world, the energy you get back.
I agree too.
That's why I try to do positive stuff. When I'm walking down the street, by working tomorrow, I say, good morning everybody, how you doing? Boom, you know what I'm saying? I try to do things that's gonna give me back good energy. You know what I'm saying? That kids come to the bar shop, like, yo D, I'm trying to get a bag of chips, I ain't got no money, can I get a buck? Yeah, I'll shoot you a buck, you know what I'm saying? I just try to do stuff that's positive. Now, if you snap on me wrong, then that's different. At that point in time, you might get some snappy energy. But if it's something that, even if it's something that I did that I felt at that time was cool, but you know, I could have been thinking about it an hour later, like, man, I should have did that. That was wrong. You know, I'm like, you know, drop to my knees, you know, and ask God to forgive me because you know He forgives. And as long as He knows it's sincere and it's genuine, He gonna forgive me.
Right. So speaking of kids, right? Would you fight? I mean, your kids are younger right now, but say your kids are 16, 17. Your son, right, let's say your son is 16, 17 years old, and you going to pick him up from basketball practice or the skating ring or wherever, right? And you see him over there getting packed out by like 3 kids, his age. You running up and like throwing them off your son, or you running up throwing hands?
I'm throwing them off. I'm gonna throw them off, you know, just to anybody's watching it doesn't look like I'm just beating on kids. I'm throwing them off. Now, if they get to swinging on me, that's self-defense. You gotta remember, a lot of these kids nowadays, they damn near our size, 16, 17. Why not?
I asked because this lady, I think I'm getting the story right, but this lady said her son came home and got in a fight. He, you know, face a little roughed up, his clothes a little roughed up. So what happened? So I guess the next day, or she sent him back up there to fight. You know how black mom, you know how we do now. You gotta fight that nigga. So she sent him back up there, or the next day later on. So let's call it the next day. The next day, he's fighting the kid, and she pulls up to pick him up. And her story is when she pulled up, he was getting jumped. So she ran over there and was grabbing kids by their backpacks and shirts, getting them off her kid. But other people that was there was like, nah, she ran up and started serving people.
So she mother's instinct. You can't be mad at her.
That's what I said. And especially if it's boys. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what you gonna do? Like if it's girls, like, come on, like they all pulling hair, you gotta break them up. You can't just run up socking people. You know what I'm saying? But dude, like little boys, teenage boys over there fighting, like a mom, she gonna have to run up and throw them hands. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I couldn't do it. I'd go to jail. But you know what? I know somebody that I won't say who she is, but I used to work with her, and I remember she told me, she was like, nah, me and my husband, we go to jail for our kids. We fighting straight up. If it's a group of kids swinging on our kids, we're fighting. And she was in her 40s. She was like, I don't care. We're fighting.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say watch my kid get jumped. Like, come on, because look, some jumping is to lead to death. If you don't jump in, they'll stop the nigga to death.
That's real.
So yeah, I'm gonna save my kid's life. I go do a little jail time. Okay, that's cool.
Speaking of people fighting, you hear about the UFC? The dude that was fighting UFC had became a woman. So it's I think it's a trans woman. I want to make sure I say that right. So I believe it's a trans woman.
Yeah.
Fighting women. So born a man is now a woman and is fighting women.
I mean, I heard about it. I heard some rumors about it. But I haven't actually seen the person or another person that's doing it.
Fam.
I think that's crazy. Like,
there's no way. That should not.
That's still a man fighting women.
That should not be allowed, fam.
She the champ, huh?
She want to know. She's want to know.
She's want to know.
It wasn't no flawless victory. Like, face was messed up.
Whoa, I'm gonna have to YouTube that.
Face was messed up. But yeah, won the fight.
I'm gonna have to YouTube that.
That's why I was like, they talk about like when you had a sex change and you do it right and do all the stuff. I don't want to say do it right. if you go to certain lengths with your procedures and surgeries and everything, lowered, you know what I'm saying, go from male to female, lower testosterone levels and everything. So they're supposed to be like making it more even or whatever. But I guess some doctor that they were talking to about it was like, nah, because the girl is 31, 30 or 31. And the doctor was like, nah, being a man for 30 years is gonna still, you were a man for 30 years, like that's gonna play a factor. You know what I'm saying? But I seen that, I'm like, fam, they have to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, you can't be letting them do that, man.
And I feel like they're not gonna make certain rules like that because of how powerful that community is, and they're just gonna do what they need to do and say what they need to say to get what they want. You know what I'm saying? But that's like, come on, man. I mean, I was gonna give an example for basketball, but most men. But okay. But what if I can't? What if I want to play pro ball? I don't want to work a job. I don't want. I got an office job, and I don't work a job. I play D1 ball. I didn't make it to the league though. I played D1 ball. Maybe I played a couple years over in Europe or something. My career is done. But if I have a sex change, become a girl, play a WNBA, like, come on, bro. Like, come on. What are we doing here? Now you got to do a girl that used to be a dude running up and down the court, dunking on niggas and.
That's what Joanna man.
Come on, yeah, right. Right. Like, come on, fam. We can't have that. We can't have that.
That's definitely a no-no.
I think that was all I have for you today, man. I think that was all I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Nice, quick, short, easy pod. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely have fun again with your boy.
You know what I'm saying? I was definitely trying to find some more, like, some funny stuff to come in here and talk about and laugh about, because you're a funny nigga, man. I definitely want you to get in your bag on the podcast for sure, because you're a funny nigga, man. You're a funny nigga, man. And also, I want to do like, do some, matter of fact, we're gonna talk about that off here. We gonna do some other stuff other than just the podcast though. We got some fun, create some content together. We're gonna do that. But yeah, man, another episode from the Sandbox podcast. My boy Michael Flicks.
Boy D.
Let's do that again. So, but another episode from the Sandbox podcast. I'm your boy Michael Flicks.
That's your boy D. We live from the Sandbox, man. Let's get it.
Appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. We out.
Yeah.